that? Do we have anything, for those of you that are watching and trying to help us out, do we have any sound yet? How about that? So just, do we have anything, for those of you that are watching and trying to help us out, do we have any sound yet? How about that? Mary Jane, just, do we have anything, for those of you that are watching and trying to help us out, do we have any sound yet? How about that? Mary Jane, just, do we have anything, for those of you that are watching and trying to help us out, do we have any sound yet? About that? Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mary Jane, just, do we have anything, for those of you that are watching and trying to help us out, do we have any sound yet? About that? Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mary Jane, just, do we have anything, for those of you that are watching and trying to help us out, do we have any sound yet? Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mary Jane, just, do we have anything, for those of you that are watching and trying to help us out, do we have any sound yet? Okay. You said we got sound, but do we have any soft? For those of you that, is that any better? Do we have any sound yet? Okay. You said we got sound. Any of these soft? For those of you that, is that any better? Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any of these soft? Is that any better? Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any of these soft? Is that any better?
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, I think that's about the best 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
So we're just going to go with it. Well, I think that's about the best 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. We're just going to go with it. Well, hello. I think that's about the best 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Test
Get going again.
Okay. We're just going to go with it.
Well, hello. I think that's about the best 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're going to try this. We've got everything going as much as we can. We've got all the volumes turned all the way up. We're going to try this. We've got everything going as much as we can. First thing, we usually have our prayer list turned all the way up. And we've got everything going as all the others that we have. We usually have list. Mine just went blank. I usually have all those pretty well in mind. But first thing we usually have list. We do want to raise up the praise for the festival, how it's going.
First thing we usually
have praise at the festival soup dinner tonight. We didn't have any open chairs, and some folks are waiting for others to get done eating. The gift drawing that Randy put together went over real well. So we're really thankful about that. So let's just take a moment to pray. Father, we thank you for this afternoon, this evening that you've given us this time together. Lord, as frustrating as it has been to get to this point this evening, we're thankful to be able to join together in this way. We do pray for those that are part of our prayer list, day by day and week by week. And Lord, we lift up our church and our congregation. We're just so thankful for this festival being held again, for the fellowship, the camaraderie, Lord, and for the funds that we're able to raise. And we just thank you for all the volunteers of the church, the efforts that they put into it, and just all the blessings that it brings to just a lot of different people, a lot of different groups. And all these things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. I had to come into town earlier today. Actually, I had to go see Steve Waltz. And it's kind of funny because I went in there with not a whole lot going on, just to more see about checkups and things. And before I got done, they stuck a needle in one arm and a needle in the other arm. And I got to go back Friday for him to stick another needle in. But that's okay. You know, I got a flu shot. I got a pneumonia shot. I already had my other shots, the COVID shots. Had those back in the spring. That's okay. You know, I got a flu shot. You know, I got a pneumonia shot. A lot of us been taking vaccination shots for a long time. And so I don't know if it's any different the way it is, but I got done over there at the clinic, came back to the church, and visited with Randy a little bit, with Kathy in the office, and then to the church. It was about lunchtime. I thought I'm just going to walk up to the square and see what's going on and see what kind of food they have. One of the things that's kind of disappointing, it wasn't near the food booths there used to be. It was about lunchtime. I thought, man, I'll tell you what, crullers are just as good as they always were. And then also, I kind of looked around everything and ended up going into the Riverton Park Music and getting a ham and cheese. That thing was so big, I couldn't finish all of it. So I kind of looked around everything. I walked through the tent and just kind of went in and all the way over, just kind of sashayed through there really easy, looking around at everything. I walked through the tent. There's just a lot of different stuff in there. Now, Neil went to Bridgeton today, and she saw a lot of different stuff. Luckily, she didn't bring a whole lot of it home, or at least if she did, I haven't seen it yet. But as she did those things, and as I went through that tent, one of the things that I thought about in all of it was, as she did those things, the diversity in God's creation. And what I mean by that was, there wasn't a lot of diverse creation in the tent. There was people are people, and it was mostly folks that looked like us all around here. They looked like they could have been from any small town in the United States. So, but the thing that struck me was looking at all the things that they've done and all the things that they've created and all the things that they made. And it just reminds you of how God created each one of us different. One of the things that I always get a kick out of doing with kids sometimes, and I've done it here a couple of times, talking about those same sort of things, is that I tell them, I said, aren't you glad God made all of us different? Because if God didn't make all of us different, then your girlfriend would look like your sister. And there wouldn't be a whole lot of telling. Because if God didn't make a whole lot of telling them apart. So would you like for your sister to be your girlfriend? And we're not talking about all those other things, but just the fact that God made all of us different. When you go through these craft festivals and you see the things that different people make, just the fact that different talents that they have. I mean, there was everything from trinkets to clothing, all kinds of stuff. And there was Christmas ornaments, some made out of ceramic, some of them were made out of there was just kind of homemade stuff. Some were made out of metal. And just the idea that some folks thought those things up. People had the talents to do them and came in a lot of different ways. There was a group that had honey and just a lot of different things about it. And it just reminds you that we're all different. You can go through the Bible and you can look at everybody in there. And no two people are the same. Even the folks that Jesus picked, the apostles, which means the ones that were sent, the ones that he chose to send out to carry on the ministry after him, they were not the same. We had fishermen, we had guys with tempers, we had a tax collector, we had an accountant, we had all kinds of different types of people. So even Jesus drew on the diversity in sending his people out. And so, these things remind us of that. God didn't create us all to be different. Or I said that wrong. God didn't create us all to be the same. God intended for us to be different. There was Adam, there was Eve, and then with Cain, Abel, Seth, we see that they were different. In our Bible study on Sunday nights, as we've been going through Genesis, we even see that there were different types of traits within people. There's the line of Cain, there's the line of Abel, and what happened to those because of the type of people that they were. They weren't the same, and they took different directions and all of that. And it's part of the thing that you know, I think about evolution. And in evolution, as it comes up, everything should be the same. You know, the survival of the fittest, and a lot of those different things. But when we see that diversity in everything around us, when we see that diversity you know, you can go out and walk across your yards, just look at all the different kinds of stuff that's growing there. You know, you got grass and clover, a lot of weeds, and all those things. And God made every one of them. When you look at the trees, and just here in a couple of weeks, there's going to be yellow ones and orange ones, and all kinds of other colors. You know, some people take vacation just to go places and look at the colors of the trees, and it's just a beauty to behold. And God did all that. But what a boring place this would be if everything was the same, and if everything was laid out, if there was no differences, there would be no joy in it at all. But God wanted us to have joy. He wanted us to enjoy things. He wanted us to be unique. And we are unique from our fingerprints, our eye scans, palm prints. You know, babies, they even put footprints down. And there's even stories in the Old Testament, whether you really thought about it or not, which tells us that even people's feet are different. Do you know how they ratified contracts in the Old Testament? You took your shoe off, one of your sandals, and you gave it to somebody, because that sandal, the print that your foot made on that sandal was different than anybody else's. You can read about that in Ruth and in a couple other places. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, when they found all those, they found a deed to property that included a sandal. So, you know, even they knew. They may not know the science about it, but they knew that people were different enough that even their feet were different, and their footprints were different, and that was as different as the signature. You're right, it was their signature. So, you know, we need to celebrate the differences in us and celebrate the goodness in us. And just be thankful for what God does through us and for us. And you know, I would put that out there to all of you as well for what God does through us. I mean, just look at your spouse, or you know, the one that you have, if you're widowed, the one that you were there. And just think about if that person, you know, was like every other person out there. If your wife was like every other woman, if your husband was like every other man, what would your marriage be like? If your wife was like, there wouldn't be any. That'd almost be like going through robots. There would be no pleasure as far as enjoying somebody's relationship, because it wouldn't be any different if it was them, the guy next door. There would be the guy on the other side of the street, the woman that lives in another country, in another place, all those. It'd be a pretty guy on the other side of the street. And I'll tell you, in our house, if it wasn't for people having different kind of talents, there probably wouldn't be anything on the walls. Gail likes to put a lot of stuff on the walls, on the shelves, all those things. And it might be good for me if it was. There may not be as much stuff around, but there is. And it's what even makes our house unique, because it might be good for me if it was. There may not be as much stuff around, but find stuff that other people have made that's what even makes our house unique. It might be good for me. She was hanging up with all the stuff not too long ago. We got a lot of people coming to the house this weekend. So, you know, as we get ready to close, and it's kind of been a short session tonight because of the late start and all those things. So, just want you to look around, look around at the different people, look around at the different talents. And if everybody had the same talents, then it'd be an awful boring world. Then everything would look the same. Every house would be the same. Every car would be the same. Even the refrigerators, everything, pencils, pens, everything would be the same because everybody would be thinking like. Even the refrigerator. Sometimes our thinking differently gets us in trouble. Everything would be the same because. But we need to be thankful, like, for the ways that we see different. Sometimes our thinking differently. Just as God made our fingerprints different, He made our hearts different. He made our minds different. And God gives us all a gift of grace that the Bible tells us is specific to us. My gift is not like your gift. Your gift is not like my gift. Just because someone may be a pastor or a Bible teacher or a good singer or something like that doesn't necessarily mean that their gift is any greater. Paul goes into quite a bit of detail about that. But God gives us something like that gift that's special to us, just as God made each of us special. We're all special to Him. So celebrate our differences. Be glad God made us different, because if He didn't, you'd be married to your brother or your sister. Everybody would look like your brother and your sister, and even your mom and your dad and everything else. And it would probably take our dogs to be able to tell us apart. So I hope you have a blessed evening, and hopefully between now and next week, we'll be able to get Facebook figured out and get back on the iPad and the phone again. So have a blessed night and be a blessing to others. Facebook figured out. Love and peace. Amen. iPad and the phone again. So have a blessed night and be a blessing to others. Facebook figured out. Love and peace. Amen. iPad and the phone again. So have a blessed night and be a blessing to others. Facebook figured out. Love and peace. Amen. iPad and the phone again. So have a blessed night and be a blessing to others. Facebook figured out. Love and peace. Amen. iPad and the phone again. So have a blessed night and be a blessing to others. Facebook figured out. Love and peace.